Good evening, and welcome into another edition of The Talent. My name is Thomas Greenberg, here to get you caught up on all things Boston sports. It was a busy week in the area, with both college and professional teams in action, so let's just jump right into it. We're going to get started today talking about the Jamie Collins trade, which took New England by storm on Monday when the Patriots traded star linebacker Jamie Collins to the Cleveland Browns for a third-round pick. The Patriots are 9-2, but we have to address the biggest story to come out of today in the NFL, and that is Rob Gronkowski undergoing back surgery tomorrow, 8 weeks out. If he were to come back, it would be the Super Bowl, but it's questionable whether he comes back at all. This is a devastating loss for the Patriots. There's no question about it. It leaves them in a tough position. And I say that for two reasons. One is because the 1 year that Rob Gronkowski has been healthy the entire year in the past, since he came into the league, was 2014. Patriots Super Bowl champions. That was the 1 year. Another stat is that Tom Brady has an 84 passer rating when Rob Gronkowski is off the field. When he's on the field, it's 105. Tom Brady benefits so much from Rob Gronkowski being on the field. I mean, we all know how great a player Gronk is. It is a devastating loss for the Patriots, and we're going to have to see them make some real changes. I'd say if there's one positive to take away from the fact that you found out today Gronk was out for the year, is that we're going into Week 13. There are 5 more regular season weeks before the playoffs. Patriots should have a bye, barring a couple losses here and there. They might lose to the Broncos, but I don't see them losing to enough teams this season to lose that grasp on a bye in the AFC, right? So they'll have that week to rest, and then it comes playoff time, and having all that time leading into their first playoff game to prepare, as you said, Bennett, to prepare other players to step up in Gronk's absence, I think that is the one positive you can take away, but it is clearly a devastating loss. Hi there, welcome into The Talent here on BCTV. I'm Thomas Greenberg, joined by my co-host Scott Hill, and we're here to get you caught up on all things Boston sports that have happened in the past week. The first big matchup of the weekend was Boston College Clemson, and for us here on campus at Boston College, it wasn't a fun day for us. So Clemson came in, and we didn't think there was too much of a chance that BC was going to get the upset, but we thought they'd at least maybe keep it a close game. But the result was 56-10 Clemson. I mean, they came in here and just shellacked us. It was over before it really even started with their high-powered offense. What do you think about that matchup, and what do you think about Boston College offense and defense heading into the rest of the season? This defense is what could have kept us in the game, and they just couldn't do anything about Deshaun Watson. Tonight we've got a special feature for you, as joining me in studio is Connor Hawley. Connor's a BC senior and a student manager on the men's basketball team. He's been a student manager since his freshman year. And I first want to ask you, Connor, how did you get into it? In terms of the NFL as a whole this year, the ratings are down, especially in primetime games. What do you think is the reason for that? I think that more so it's just been other ways to get to the NFL through streaming services. I think the election season is playing a role. And I think that the NFL is experiencing this because they were just at such a high point. But I still think that there's no reason to be fearful if you're an NFL executive or a TV executive who runs the games, because the NFL is always going to be king no matter what. They put out the best product out of any of the sports, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people. And we saw the World Series last night get 40 million viewers, which is actually 10 million more than Game 7 of the NBA Finals got this past year. To put that in perspective for the NFL Super Bowl last year got over 100 million viewers. I think the NFL is still king. There are reasons to be fearful right now, but in my opinion, after the election's over and once the games get more meaningful down the stretch, both primetime and regionalized games are going to be just as popular as they have been in the past. That game wasn't the only football action in the Boston area last weekend, however, as the New England Patriots took on the Houston Texans in a Thursday night matchup between undefeated teams. The story of the game was the Patriots' defense, who you can see establishing their dominance early on with a big third-down sack of Houston quarterback Brock Osweiler. On Saturday, the Boston College Eagles played the FCS team Wagner in a much-needed easy slate against some non-Division I competition. This is also an exciting time in Major League Baseball, with division and wildcard races heading for a finale this week. The Red Sox, fresh off an 11-game winning streak, only needed one win this week to clinch the AL East, and they look to get it on Wednesday, behind the arm of Clay Buchholz. Yeah, absolutely, Scott. It was very interesting to see that the Red Sox offense just couldn't keep it going. But you know what I found interesting about that was that in 2013, the Red Sox offense really didn't perform that well. Xander Bogaerts, I think, was their best hitter with a 300 batting average. And then Big Papi, of course, got hot in the World Series, ending up going, I think, 11 of 16 and winning World Series MVP. But the reason that they made it to the World Series and ended up winning was because of the pitching that year. They had John Lester, John Lackey, who carried that team. And this year, they were expecting that and hoping for that out of David Price and Rick Porcello, but they just couldn't deliver. Signing off for BCTV, I'm Thomas Greenberg.